Welcome back to the Road to React, your journey to master plain yet pragmatic React.js 2020 edition. I'm not the author, I am just the coding tutor going over these topics because, I cannot stress this enough, or I've mentioned this many times before, having another perspective on somebody else's curriculum or in this case book, I've noticed helps a lot. So this is an incredibly good book, and I'm just adding it a voice. So anyway, so let's go straight into it. This chapter, if you will, a section, I don't even know if you can call it a chapter because it's literally 2 pages long. It's called Imperative React. And when I looked through this, when I read through this, which, like I said, is literally just this page and this page. Get the book, by the way. I'm showing you the content of the book, which I think I started off not doing, but now I'm doing it. But you do need the book for sure. So get the book, get the book, get the book. Support the author. He's great. So with that said, I read through this. This stuff didn't make sense to me. And it's somewhat more clearer now that I did my own research. So let me see if I can explain it. So this chapter is touching on imperative React. So there's imperative and there's declarative, right? And I think one person explained it really well, where they gave an example too of like they were using the map function. So when you map, if you wanted to double every value in an array, you can use the dot map that's built into JavaScript. So that would be declarative, meaning you don't tell it how to do it, you just tell it what to do, and then it does it for you, right? So that's declarative. And then imperative is where you define it yourself, where you define the function of mapping and doubling every value by 2. I don't know if I still have that example up. It wasn't this one, it was this one right here actually. Here's the imperative. You tell it exactly how to increase every value by 2, and there's a function right there that does all that. That's imperative. And then declarative is you just tell it like, hey, I want every value to be multiplied by 2. All right. So that's important for this chapter. And then there's a create. So I'm only highlighting the things that I think matter here. There's a create ref that is for class components, and then there's a use ref for functional components. And we're headed towards functional components, so use ref is more popular than create ref. Okay, so what is create ref? What is use ref? What are these use ref hooks, right? So I guess they come into play when you need to specifically do something with a DOM element. So you need to access part of you need to access a DOM, an HTML element, and you need to do something specific to it, something imperative, if you will, and you can use create ref or use ref to do so. So a good example is here. The author gives an example, but honestly, it made no sense to me. Didn't do anything in terms of expanding my knowledge on this or helping me understand this better. So what I found on a different page, I found something that I felt like was a little bit more useful. Is this example right here? Is it this one actually? This one right here. And what this article is saying, what this blog post is saying is very simple, or the example that they're using is very straightforward. Is if you need to, for example, if you have a modal, right? Then you open up the modal and you want the cursor to be focused on the input field. Like you want it to be inside, you want to focus on the input field, if you will. Then you can use, in this case, use ref. Use ref right here. Let's see if I can highlight it without the whole thing going white. Right here is use ref to this input modal. So this is how you declare. Oops, not again. There is a constant called input ref, and you call on use ref and then you assign it to the input field down here. See that right here? So you tell it this input field is now referred to as input ref, if you will, or you assign the input ref. I don't know the best, to be honest, the best terminology to use here. So, okay, but you see the connection, right? Use ref, you assign it to this input field. So now when you load this component, when use effect gets called in the life cycle, right? When the component did mount, the first thing you do is you call on this input ref on the current element, or the whatever the current I guess, yeah, the current I don't know, again, not sure the best way to describe this, explain this, but what matters more is this focus part. So you're saying when this component did mount using this use effect lifecycle hook, go ahead and focus on it. So now you have access to this input field, and you can do something very, very specific to this HTML element. So it becomes more what? Imperative versus declarative. So you're not telling React to do something in a certain state based on the state. You're telling it specifically to focus on this particular element. And that's pretty much what I got out of it. So I hope this added to the to your learning experience with this book. I really do. That's my goal. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you. Well, I hate the word guys. All right, listeners. I appreciate you listening to this. And stay tuned for more videos in this series. I think we're 52% done. Yay. All right. Take care. Bye.